This was me before watching The Bear. Oh. Look at it go. This was me after watching The Bear.
Jesus Christ, these eggs are fucked! Let's get that meat going, let's get that fucking meat going, come on, let's go get that sauce on top of that fucking beef! Stir it up faster, come on! Yes, chef, that's a yes, chef, I need a yes, chef! Give me a yes, chef, give me a fucking yes! Behind! Corner! Behind! Look at that shit right there, that's what I'm fucking talking about. Look at this shit right here, I call that the spiral staircase.
May 28th left me and many others in a total television drought, unsure of what new shows to watch after both Succession and Barry ended. Like, what do we have now? The Idol? Stranger Things? Oh, good lord, no thanks. We do still have The Boys at least, but at this point I'm starting to doubt that season 4 is even real. So one day, I opened up YouTube and I got an ad for a new show that had just released a second season. FX's The Bear. This looked interesting. It's a food show. And I love food. FX produces a lot of very high quality shows, and it sounds great from the plot description, and the episodes are really short, so why not check it out? And from there, I was hooked. The Bear has hooked me in a way few shows ever have. When I'm cooking, I'm thinking about The Bear. When I'm walking my dogs, I'm thinking about The Bear. When I'm at work, I'm thinking about The Bear. When I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about The Bear. It's an extraordinary little show that excels on all fronts. The characters, writing, cinematography, editing, pacing, it's top-tier television. It frankly makes most bigger budget, more produced shows look like an embarrassment in comparison. Obligatory quick plot description here. The Bear follows Carmen Berzado, or Carmi as everyone calls him, an incredibly talented chef who is supremely educated in the culinary arts. He's a head chef at a high-end New York restaurant. He's won awards, he's in magazines, he's got it all. But he quits all of it and moves back to his home city of Chicago to take over a run-down, in-debt, almost bankrupt Italian beef sandwich shop after his brother who recently committed suicide leaves it to him. Just from that description alone, your head can run wild with different scenarios and ideas. You got the fish out of water element with a high-end chef reducing himself to a low-end restaurant. You got family drama with his brother's suicide. You got obstacles for the characters to face both internally and externally. I remember I was sold on the description alone, and the show takes advantage of its concepts to the fullest. The conflicts derived from this fish out of water concept are endlessly entertaining and engaging to see play out on screen, and you get a lot of mileage out of it since The Bear employs a semi-episodic structure, in season 1 at least, while still having a fuller overarching story. In season 1 you got a gaming tournament held at the restaurant, a crisis with a health inspector.
It will take no, don't touch that. It will take 5 seconds to caulk. I can caulk. Let me fucking caulk.
A power outage occurs and forces the chefs to be very inventive in order to stay open for the day. And you got Carmi and Richie catering for a kid's birthday party, which is a lot of fun.
The ketchup, which box?
I didn't bring ketchup.
Why didn't you bring ketchup?
What kind of asshole is gonna put ketchup on a hot dog?
A child, Richie.
Child asshole.
And season 2 is much more about the individual characters, dedicating full episodes or the majority of an episode's runtime to expanding on and developing these characters. One of the many things that stands out so strongly about this show and makes it so unique is its pacing and structure. Let's analyze the first episode a little. Every TV show or series you will ever watch starts the same way. Maybe you'll get a brief cold open that has some action right away to either shock or intrigue the viewer. Think Breaking Bad or Mindhunter. But the episode will be spent slowly introducing characters, their motivations, setting the tone, the world, or mood for the series. Include an inciting incident or catalyst for the story, Walter White's cancer diagnosis, Barry joining the acting class, Will's disappearance, Huey's girlfriend getting creamed by A-Train, Laura Palmer's corpse being found, etc., and that's it. This isn't a criticism at all. Criticizing a show for starting like this is like criticizing a movie for having the studio's logos at the beginning. It's just how it is. But The Bear is different. The Bear starts like this.
Yeah, so listen, I'm still trying to figure this place out. You know, see how Michael was doing everything, and I want to get you your money. Hey, Chi-Chi, it's Carmi. You still got that meat connect?
From minute one, we're immediately thrown into the intense, chaotic clusterfuck of a mess Carmi has gotten himself into. The inciting incident of the series has already happened off screen, Carmi's brother is dead and he's already in Chicago working at the restaurant, and the audience is forced to play catch-up. This is when the show shows off one of its best qualities: efficient cinematic storytelling. Let's look at this little moment between Carmi and Fact.
Part of the reason why this machine got recalled in the first place, aside from the excessive and irresponsible violence, is it's just too difficult. It's a fighter and a fucking scroller. Also, I'm sorry. I didn't make it to the funeral. I sent flowers, and I really hope that they look nice.
I don't know, I wasn't there. How long is this gonna take?
It's gonna take an hour.
All right, it's gotta be fast.
In just 2 lines in this really brief scene, we've learned so much about these characters. Fact loved Carmi's brother enough to send flowers, and is deeply sad about having missed the funeral. Carmi is immediately dismissive when he says that he wasn't there either, and moves on from the topic right away, which is weird considering it seems like his own brother's funeral would be a bigger deal to him. We don't need this huge melodramatic flashback scene that shows Carmi missing the funeral because he's too busy in New York, if that's even why he missed it. This moment is so brief, but it shows so much about these characters, and the show is loaded with little character building moments like these.
Housekeeping, chefs!
Again, what the fuck are you saying? Anyone understand what he's saying?
Housekeeping means you have to clean your stations because this place is fucking gross. I refer to everybody as chef because it's a sign of respect, and I never said I couldn't figure out the spaghetti. I said it doesn't make any sense on this menu, so it is done. The end.
If the spaghetti didn't make any sense, how come everybody fucking loved that shit?
Everybody did love it. Everybody doesn't have any taste. It was an underseasoned, oversauced mess. It took 7 hours to prep.
Carmi's expertise and professionalism is shown off through his actions, dialogue, and how he communicates to others. We don't need a montage flashing back through years of culinary school and training, because this is more efficient and gets the same point across. And when we do later get scenes and even full episodes dedicated to whole flashbacks and expositional moments, they feel more earned and justified. And sometimes you don't even need dialogue to understand how Carm's feeling. This is all just the first episode, but this level of efficient storytelling carries out through the entire show. Our main lead, Carmi, is really what ties every aspect of the show together. He's a fish out of water. I'm trying not to use that phrase too much. He's an extremely prolific and talented chef coming to a place of, say, lesser qualities, and at first being faced with walls built around him and not getting the respect he deserves from the others at the restaurant. While he does always want what's best for the place, the old thinking and mentalities from the other staff constantly blocks him, until through his talents and professionalism, they eventually begin to change their minds and he becomes a bit of a source of inspiration for them. So you have this work side of him, and you have Carmen himself as a man, forced to deal with the emotional and mental turmoil of the situation he's been thrust in, while having to reconnect with his Chicago family ties, which he long wanted to be separated from. He's a man so used to everything around him going wrong and falling apart that it's a weird thing to him when things start to go his way.
Spending money on pretty high-end stuff, farmers market produce.
Is my hair on fire?
Not yet, no, but you need help. And
he is a fascinating character, and watching him face and overcome his internal and external challenges is one of the factors that makes this show so great. Season 1 as a whole is really solid. I already talked about how strongly the show opens up, but it does slow down big time in the middle, but pick up considerably in the last 2 episodes. But it all lays the groundwork for Season 2 to build off of. And while Season 1 lays some incredible groundwork, Season 2 is when this show transcends into truly masterful television. Season 1 was Carmi trying to pick up and put together the pieces of this failing restaurant back together, and Season 2 is about the struggles of creating a new restaurant altogether. And this in-depth look into the restaurant business that this show provides is immensely fascinating. I haven't been able to go to a restaurant since without thinking about all the crazy drama and stuff that could be happening in the kitchen. It delves into the politics and inner workings of a variety of different restaurants, the chefs it employs, the science behind creating a menu and creating dishes for the restaurant, the technical aspects like fire suppression systems, purchasing silverware, plates, bowls, customer service. In Season 2, a wide variety of different culinary arts are highlighted, and it essentially turns into a Guy Fieri food show for a bit, in the best possible way. These cooking scenes are treated with so much attention to detail and care. You can really tell everything was well researched beforehand, and the painstaking detail into crafting these meals really shows. For as loud, crass, intense, and bombastic as this show gets at points, it's equally introspective and meditative. It doubles as an incredible analysis and exploration of grief and loss, and the different ways it affects different people. The existentialism of suddenly feeling out of place in a place you used to be comfortable in, make every moment count, and always do the best you can do. These are just a few of the themes and messages it tosses around between each of its memorable leads. We've already spoken about Carmi. We've also got Sydney, who's essentially the straight man, dialing everyone back and keeping everyone in check. You've got Richard, my favorite character, who clings so desperately to the old ways of the restaurant and feels more and more pushed out by Carmen as things progress and he's still doing the same thing, and whose solo episode in Season 2 is without a doubt the best episode of the series thus far. You got Marcus, whose endearing quest to become the best pastry chef he can is an incredible story of self-improvement and passion. There's Tina, who somewhat serves as the antithesis of what Richard represents. You got Fack, Abraham, Sugar, Pete, Cicero, all endlessly entertaining and well-rounded characters. And of course, the city of Chicago itself is a character as well. I've never seen Chicago captured on screen this well since the Blues Brothers or the third Transformers movie. I'm half joking about that second one, but I'm working on a big Transformers video coming later this year. Stay tuned. The show does for Chicago what Breaking Bad did for Albuquerque, New Mexico. It highlights so many incredible things about this city. The infrastructure, restaurant culture, the food. Oh my god, the food. Chicago is so intertwined with these characters and the restaurant that it gives the show so much more personality and a real feeling of place and location. The show excels on the technical side too, boosting some seriously insane editing, really beautiful cinematography at points, and every once in a while it will get real crazy and show off by doing an entire episode in one take, as done in Season 1. And my god, the way food looks in this show, just incredible. Like, look at this. And this. Food is filmed in this show the same way Megan Fox was filmed in the first two Transformers movies. Like, Jesus Christ. The Bear, as much as it's about food, is a show about real, everyday human struggle. Whether that be financial struggle, or the feeling of not fitting in, or the struggle in the pursuit of perfection. And the journeys these characters take in order to change and improve upon themselves. It's nail-bitingly intense and stressful as hell at points, with how frighteningly accurate it depicts the process of working in food service, but it's extremely optimistic and humanist. It tells the audience that everyone's capable of change and self-improvement. I felt so much from Carmen's grief, Richie's stubbornness, Sydney just trying to keep everyone from killing each other, Marcus's pursuit of perfection, and more. These resonant, universal themes that this show carries around make it something so special that I can't recommend enough. At only 2 seasons so far, with the majority of the episodes being around 30 minutes, it makes a real easy watch, and there will definitely be more of The Bear to come in the future. I can guarantee that everyone can pull something from this show that will deeply affect them. It's so good, it's even worth downloading Hulu for. And I think that's some of the highest praise you can possibly give something. From its technical aspects, storytelling, performances, and thematic value, it's a show completely firing off on all cylinders, and for these reasons, you should really watch The Bear. Thanks for watching. Let's go. Shit.